Give me a second. I'm trying to set this up without it falling. Give me a second to post this video and I'll start talking. I want to start with why it is important to keep your vibration really high and what you can really do by doing that. So give me 1 sec. I'm going to post this live feed and I'll get set up. Good morning. It's a high vibe day. We're coming out of the tail end of a storm right now from the elections. We're just about to pass out of it. Give me 1 sec. I'm just going to post this live feed. Let's see. All right. Well, it's a lovely day. I want to talk to you a little bit about your vibration because I'm always trying to like go over that and over that, like how important it is that basically how this universe works is your vibration is going to attract what you're seeing. So it really has a big impact on what's going on in your life. I'm going to go over some things that really like lower and raise your vibration on my little rant. But I want to start too with basically I see it like people are either ascending or descending at this point. Really how this process worked for me was I incarnated onto this plane. I reached adulthood and then I began my descent. And I had to descend into my own darkness and conquer my own darkness before I could come back up again and begin that ascension process, as in going back to source, whatever you want to really call it, before I could get on that real spiritual path. So just keep in mind that while I might be ascending and most of you guys are ascending, there are people that are descending, and those people that are choosing, they're using their free will to choose to stay here, to choose to keep descending and going away from source. They're really going to plummet fast. Because their reality has to be shaken up. That's how they're going to wake up and that's how they're going to grow and evolve. So be really patient. Everyone's just at a different level. So while I might be going up and only going up and up in my life, a lot of the people around me are not choosing to do that. They're not really jumping aboard with this ascension. And just be patient because we're going to see a lot of people wake up that you really thought wouldn't even ever wake up. And let me see. Basically, raising your vibration, I have this really good list I just put on my healing page. Basically, leafy green vegetables. That's really good for your heart chakra. Anything green in color you can eat. That's why I recommend everyone eating spinach, lettuce, whatever kind of leafy vegetables. Obviously, you should probably rinse them off before you eat them, but they're really good for your heart chakra. So try to eat anything green in color. You can go barefoot outside. Some people call that grounding. Being in touch with earth, nature, that's really going to raise your vibration. Raisins, figs, watermelons, dandelion greens, almonds, high raw foods, basically any fruits and vegetables, because they're grown outside in source energy. We're not supposed to be eating meat because it's killed and dies in fear. So we're really eating fear energy when we eat meat in a really kind of crazy way. So you really want to stick to foods that are grown in the sunlight because they have a lot of source energy in them. Really laughing, smiling, passion, sunshine, walking on the beach or just walking, exposure to greenery and nature, breathe deeply, yoga, classical and relaxing music, burning lavender oil, acceptance, forgiveness, gratitude, kindness, love, and joy. And I want to kind of touch base on why do you think that these things on this list will raise your vibration? Really just very basically because source is going to be present during those events. Source is going to be more prevalent during like love, happiness, joy, any kind of like happy events. Believe it or not, source wants to laugh and play with its creations. It doesn't want to be miserable all the time. And then on the spectrum, let's talk about what's lowering your vibration. Hard alcohol, any kind of alcohol. I go over and over that. I'm not trying to be preachy. I did used to smoke and drink, but those things will lower your vibration and it will open you up to negative entity attachment. I've had it happen. It's very prevalent, more than you guys would think. So avoid hard alcohol, cigarettes, junk food, toxic relationships. That's worse than any drugs. I see people in these relationships that are bad for them, and it really can fast track you to a low vibration. Toxic thoughts, toxins from the environment, toxic cleaning products, and other environmental products, toxic personal care products, toxic foods, excess red meats, liver and other organ meats, white sugar, medications, radiation exposure, constant heavy metal music, yelling and arguing, holding on to the past, medication, stuck in emotions such as anger, resentment, and guilt. And I'm reading this while I'm reading it from my phone, while I'm holding onto my cell phone, just to let you guys know. Chances are you guys have a device too, because you're watching me. So we're also surrounded by everything on that list, in case you didn't notice. We're being pumped full of it as a society. So you're really noticing that like everything on the bad list is just being injected into our society, into our consciousness. So you really want to work at raising your vibration. If you have a low vibration, you're going to be paying off karma, usually. You're going to be attracting karma, whatever you want to call it. When you can raise your vibration, you can raise out of that. So you no longer have that karma that you have to pay. You can completely transmute your karma that way. So a lot of people came here and got stuck karmically. There's things that you can do. We sell white light, which gets rid of karma, on our site, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. You can pray to put yourself in a violet flame. Real quick on the rest of my rant, today's a really good day for spiritual protection. It's like, what, 9 a.m. and I've already had to pray to put have my flame pray to put me in white light. So I'm noticing it's very prevalent today. Just know there's a lot of fear energy flooding our consciousness. So maybe it's not affecting you, but it's going to affect the people around you all in a different way. Yesterday it was making me kind of emotional, like the moon was just bringing up emotions in people I was noticing. Just be really aware of that. So you're going to be seeing that just kind of like affecting the collective consciousness though. When people are hanging on to fear, what it tells me is that you have no faith. You have no trust. Why would you fear anything? I have I have two angels, a guide, and the divine helping me. So why would I be afraid? If I'm afraid, it's like kind of like not having faith. It's not trusting the universe. And it's just going to draw that to me, because I know that if you're afraid of anything, it will play out in your real life. I spent much of my life playing out all of my worst fears, and so have a lot of you guys. So we really project that fear into our lives at a really crazy level that I don't even really think people can understand. So try to let go of fear and anything that isn't serving you. I've been saying this. You're trying to purify your energy. You're trying to purge emotions out of your body that aren't serving you. So after this moon, we're kind of like reaching a calm in the storm. It hasn't started yet, but it will. Starting like tomorrow morning-ish. Today for me, later today for me, tomorrow morning-ish, we're going to kind of like come out of this storm a little bit. Ascension's like a roller coaster, you know? So we're going to have a nice little calm, a couple of days, and then we'll go right back into another storm though, because, you know, we're having a holiday next week. So these kind of things really just affect things, like the election just threw us into this storm. So really kind of like take a relaxing weekend this weekend, spend some time loving yourself and doing something for yourself if you can. We're always working on Prison Planet and running around and taking care of everyone else but ourselves. Those that are going to do the best are going to have a lot of self-love. So really try to work on that, because that's how we attract that ultimate love, that divine love that we're looking for. It's really self-love. I'm in a twin flame relationship. Someone asked me what that is. Well, that's, we have two bodies, but one soul. My soul that I have has two incarnations here at the same time. We're on a mission to help heal. So that ultimate love for me is self-love, because when I'm loving my fiance, my partner, I'm loving myself. Like it's actually me, a different incarnation. I would be him if I had gone through his family, his genetics, and his experiences, and same with him with me. So we're looking for something deeper, and that's divine love. It's also love of the self. I see so many people also looking for God, looking for spirituality in these churches, these religious institutions. When I tell people to get spiritual, I advise them to stay away from these institutions, because every time you say amen, you're praising the sun god Ra. So I really think that people don't understand where our society has led us at this point, and how serious I am when I say these institutions are enslaving us, these political, religious, these two systems. They're enslaving humanity at this point. They're keeping us here, and they're keeping it so that we keep incarnating over and over and over again. It's called a soul trap. And the goal is to liberate yourself from this plane. We don't want to have to keep coming back here. We want to go to higher dimensions to learn. We're kind of like over the third dimension. So when I say get spiritual, source, energy, God, whatever you want to call it, is inside of you. You're not going to find it in the outside world. So when you go looking in a church, it might make you feel better, but ultimately, you're not making yourself spiritually stronger. You're probably making yourself spiritually weaker. I also want to talk a little bit about what that looks like for me when someone's spiritually strong. You can just kind of tell. I can kind of tell with people like where they're at. Right now, it's just a good time to make yourself spiritually stronger. And you're going to do that by purifying your energy. I believe that this concept of God is more like a love energy. So if you're looking for God, go love something or someone in some way and God will be present. So when you're spending all this time looking in churches, they're not really teaching love. So you're not going to find the divine there. But if I go later on tonight when I see my flame, if I go love him a little more, I know that I'm loving the divine every time I love him. So just really work on being nicer to people. So everyone in this matrix is you, a different incarnation. We are all one. We all come from one source. So really work on, we have to work on loving each other more. We have to come together in harmony. I might be really different than you. I've had a lot of crazy experiences and you might have had a lot of different crazy experiences. So we might be really different people, but we all have basic qualities as humans. All we want is love and to be loved. And we really want basic things. We have the same basic needs. So at this point, this revolution is going to be one that is thought in our own minds. It's not going to be something that plays out in the streets or in the world like as you know it. It's going to be something that happens within yourself, and you're going to really work at transforming yourself with your time here, because this is Earth. It's a school. It's a school in which we work on ourselves. I was just telling someone, I forget. I was like talking about a past life experience and that I remember, and you have to remember that we've all experienced so many things, hard, heavy, painful things, whatever. We've really had a really crazy, vast collection of experiences that we can draw on now. Like, we're starting to wake up. And what does it mean when you wake up? I would say that you have to have a spiritual awakening, and once you're on that path, you start to unlock DNA, and inside of your DNA is the memories of all of your past lives and all of your experiences. So the more DNA you unlock, the more access you'll have to that information. That's the goal. I want to keep unlocking more and more DNA, and who knows what people will be able to do. Honestly, people will be able to fly and do crazy things. So we're really just trying to stay spiritually pure and unlock our DNA. I'm seeing like a lot of kids are being born with all of their DNA activated, and that's why it's so important that, especially the light workers with children, it's very important that we understand how these systems indoctrinated and enslaved us, and do we really want these kids to be going through the same systems? Maybe it's time for a change on a collective level. I don't know about you guys, but I think that we need to start doing something different. I'm going to start answering questions now. If you're asking something about your own life, be really like specific, because that's why I do answer the questions I get to on here, and I really do try to answer all of my Facebook messages. But if you want a more in-depth reading, I do them on video chat, and they last like half an hour. It just gives me more information than just spending like a second on the question. Type some questions and I'll get to them. Let's see. Todd, same peace and I love you and everyone. Before I go get some sleep, I know it's a different time like over across the world where a lot of you guys light workers are from. You guys are going to bed. I'm just waking up. It's like 9 in the morning. I'm good to go. I'm getting this video done. I'm on it. I'm just jumping right into this storm because I'm almost done at the end of today. So I'm real excited about that. I'm just trying to do it. Let's see. Yeah, type some questions. I don't know if there's a lag. Wait, what do I say after I pray? Well, those of you who are saying amen, every time you say that, you're praising the sun god Ra. So my boss, he goes to like Catholic church, and he prays for me every Sunday because, you know, I might be going to hell in his eyes or something. But honestly, I don't think he's praying to the same God I am. So, I mean, I sent him some healing energy this morning. I don't think we have the same God. Like, I know that when I pray, I know that on a deep level, all my prayers are being answered, and I'm working as one with the universe. I'm getting more and more connected to that source energy, that universe energy, more and more every day. I don't think that we have the same God. Doesn't that sound crazy? Because there only is one God. So I don't really think, I mean, but there is other gods. There were back in the day, you know, extraterrestrial life that was regarded as God. So it gets a little confusing. You have to remember, if you're following any kind of Christianity, maybe you can watch like my rant on Space Jesus yesterday. But literally, the same people that crucified Jesus wrote these religions to enslave humanity. And a lot of this earth, the control has been controlled by reptile shapeshifter aliens. So we're really enslaved on a massive level. These systems are just keeping everyone in place like they're bars. You can't see them, but they're bars keeping you here on Prison Planet. So, I don't know. When I pray, I don't have to say amen or do all that crazy stuff or the ritualistic human sacrifice type stuff. I don't know. My flame says, so mote it be, like the Masons say, so mote it be, or so might it, or and so it is. I like when people say, and so it is. It sounds right to me. They say, and so it is. So, these are things that have been twisted around. So you think you're doing the right thing, but when you go to follow those systems and follow what they want you to do, you're being enslaved here. Like, you will come right back. You have karma now for worshiping an idol, basically, and you have karma, and you're going to keep coming back. So they really keep you enslaved on a massive level. I know my boss is definitely coming right back here after he dies. This life, I'm not. So I don't know. I just really recommend that everyone find the truth and liberate their soul. You don't go to church, you pray at home. You don't have to go to church. When you go to church, you're not praying to the God that's inside of you, because you're not going to find God. And they say, though, that's the problem in America. We took gods out of schools. God was never in schools or any kind of buildings. That's why Jesus was tearing down these churches. Personally, I think we need to tear them all down now. That's why Jesus was tearing down the churches. I would love to be on that same mission. I see them as evil control systems. I can really see with my third eye what's going on, though. If I was just looking with my eyes, I went to those places too, those institutions, most of my life. But now that I can see with my third eye, and now that I'm connected and tuned into the universe, I can see the truth. So if you're looking at it with your eyes, you're just going to be blinded. If you open your third eye and work at that and see things for what they are, you'll really know what I'm talking about, and it should resonate with you on a deep level. As I said, the divine is in everything and everyone. So if you want to get close to God, you can love someone else, as in a person or an animal. And you say, so it is. I like so it is a lot. They say either so mote it is or and so it is. I don't have to say anything. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys are praying to aliens anyway without realizing it. So I don't know. I would just recommend going within and meditating and trying to get in touch with yourself, your divine self, and finding God that way. I would highly recommend it. You're not going to find God in a church. You're going to find it meditating. So go meditate in whatever way that entails. It might be like spending time in nature. It might be, taking a nap with your baby, Jessica, if you're watching. It might be something different, but just try to meditate, try to go within. That's the same thing that these religious leaders that are being worshipped. See, Jesus was a teacher. He wasn't meant to be worshipped. No one was. None of these spiritual gurus were. They were just messengers of God, kind of like I'm trying to be. You're not meant to be worshipped. You're really supposed to be learning and trying to follow what they're saying. So I just know that it's been distorted. That Jesus was teaching other people to treat others as you want to be treated, because that is you, a different incarnation. He had a really deep understanding of that. It was just written in a way to enslave people. It was something good that was taken and made evil, kind of like vaccines. Vaccines, I believe, are greatly needed, and if they worked properly and they weren't putting nanite technology in them that distorted your DNA and changed it to enslave you more, they would be really a good thing. They will be preventing diseases. They will be helping people. But that's another example of something that was meant to be good and taken and made evil. So there's a lot of that going on right now, kind of like our political systems, whatever. It's really on a massive level. Look at pharmaceuticals. People, they're killing. If you have cancer, I had stage 3 cancer. I don't know if anyone can relate. I had chemotherapy. I had really bad chemotherapy, destroyed my body. Like, I'm still healing every day from the medical things I've been through in my past. So I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but they clearly have a cure for cancer that's being suppressed by our government. These systems are not serving us. They're not in our favor. And depopulation is the agenda. So it's just really an important time to educate yourself, because I don't really care if I die or how I die this life, but I do care about my soul and my spirit. I would advise everyone to start caring about their soul and their spirit, and not so much their human body like that. Like, because you're just going to die. If you're not spiritually strong, you're going to die anyway. So just because that's how we're going to get sorted, based on like where we are spiritually. So just really prepare yourself. I don't like these religions because they teach you to wait for heaven, and there's another realm. There isn't heaven or hell. There are lower astral planes that they might have confused with hell. There's a lot of different dimensions, realms, whatever. But there's no heaven and hell. It's a dangerous thought to die and have in your head, though. So these really are crazy notions that that basically keep you stuck here. So there isn't a heaven. So the danger in waiting for heaven is, yeah, you're going to die and you're going to see an Akash record of your life, and, you know, have to plan your next life. And if you don't do any work here, okay, well, you're not really going to elevate yourself very far. So I'm not waiting to die to go to heaven, because I know it's bullshit. There isn't a heaven. I'm sorry, my loved ones are in the other realm. They're fine, and I can access them here, but there's no heaven per se. It hasn't been built yet. There will be a heaven. We're supposed to be the ones building it, believe it or not. It's supposed to be like a heaven on earth where we walk into heaven in our human bodies, but clearly it got a little crazy down here. So it's just a bunch of bullshit you're learning. How is that going to help you? We actually we live on a karmic scale. Like, there are laws of the universe, so it's a dangerous notion to teach people they're going to be judged when they die for all of their sins. We're paying for them now. It really eludes people from responsibility. It's just kind of like a dangerous system. I don't really know how to put it into words any better. You're not going to find the divine there. I know someone who goes to church every week with her baby, and her body's killing her. I've never seen her look so unhealthy and bad from an internal point of view, and it's really horrible for her health, her baby's health, and no matter what I say, it's not going to work. But I can't control other people's lives, and I don't want it. I can give people advice on maybe how to elevate their lives, or, you know, get out of the situation they're in, but you have to walk through that door. I can only give you the key. So ultimately, you're going to find it's not very good for the health of your body to be going to these churches and listening to the things they're telling you. It's actually killing your bodies on a really massive level. So it's not good. It's not good at all, because we have these mirror neurons in our brains, so we can't really perceive the difference between judging ourselves and judging other people. So these notions, these values they're teaching you are just really bad for your body. The answer is loving yourselves. Yes, loving yourselves. Yes. I try to preach love and compassion. If you were going to those churches and they were teaching you how to be light workers and love and compassion, great, go. Go ahead, go. But they're not teaching you that. You're looking at the worshiping Jesus on a cross, which is an idol. So it's just not good. I think that Jesus would have been amazing to meet, as in he was preaching love and compassion like no one else. That's what we want to encompass, but anyone can tap into Christ consciousness and embody those qualities. That's what we're trying to do here. So just spread love. Spread love. You're not going to find love in your church. You can think that you will, but it's fake. You want real love. You want divine love. That's fake love. So you're going to find that ultimately from loving your families, from, you know, being a nicer person to the people in your life. You're not going to find that in church. I know everyone feels a lot better when they leave there, but it's fake. So I'm looking for something that's real spiritually, not something that makes me feel better temporarily. That's fake. That's not real. It's not going to last. What does last is working at raising your vibration. You do that by living in love and gratitude and those higher emotions. They're preaching the lower emotions that are on that list, that fear, guilt, resentment, whatever. That's what they're filling you with. I want something that's uplifting, that's of love, and God is love. All that Bible is a bunch of people, first off, with the intent to enslave humanity, but their perception on religion and what it should be. What makes the people who, you don't even know who wrote the Bible, what makes them qualified? The same people who killed Jesus, they're well qualified, right? They have real good morals that they should be really describing God, because I don't think he was very present in their lives. But God's very real and present in my life, and it's love. It is love. Like, As in, I've been able to feel that kind of energy present. Like when I've been making love or meditating, you can actually feel that kind of energy if you start to play with it. I can feel it very heavily vibrating through me now. God is love. So just stay on a love operating system. And in order to manifest anything, you have to be doing it out of love. When we try to create things or make things appear by magic, it's not going to work very well when we're doing it out of any of those lower vibrations. So just really try to stick on a love manifest system so that you can create the future that you want. Because for so long we had low vibrations and the universe just responded by kicking us around. So I just really suggest everyone can get out of that and transcend it by raising their vibration. Thoughts on pop music? Any kind of music has a vibration. I just posted some things on my friend's page. She's a singer, about changing the frequency of her music that she's writing, because music has a frequency. So I don't encourage any Illuminati music of any kind, but I love Katy Perry music, which is straight Illuminati music. So hey, maybe it has something catchy in it, right? Just be careful with what vibration music you're listening to. I try to listen to like 5D music, I say, like metaphysical raps, whatever. Just pay attention to how it makes you feel, because some of that can be really draining. You put on like a Katy Perry video and you love it and it sounds great, right? And then you turn it off and you're drained completely. Like you just sent all your energy to the Illuminati. Now we're having like these massive power struggles over energy with the Illuminati, because there's all this energy that's been sucked out of humanity. So those that are raising consciousness are learning how to tap into that energy to redistribute it properly, like we're stealing it back type deal. But all of this energy has been siphoned off of humanity for so long, you know, and it's really like a energetic power struggle we're just learning with. So obviously I watched like that Obama speech the other day just to see if he was going to martial law everyone, because you know. So I watched it for like 7 minutes and I felt completely drained and had a headache, like a negative entity attack. Like, so you have to understand that, and that was, of course, the day of the full moon, right? You think that wasn't planned out? You think that wasn't planned out? Obama goes on TV. I don't know how often that happens. You know, when they didn't bomb something. So I'm just saying, you know, that these things are orchestrated perfectly. Don't think that the newest, I don't know, Lady Gaga meltdown, which is front page of the news today. Lady Gaga has a meltdown, but there isn't shit about Standing Rock on the news. So just think that if you're seeing it on television, it probably isn't good for you. So you probably want to stick to music that isn't being broadcasted on television. You know, music that isn't as popular or whatever. Because if it's popular and it's on whatever channel, television, it's probably not good for you. I say amen. I say it right now, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a very close relationship with Isis and Osiris, so I can channel these higher entities sometimes, but I wouldn't pray to them. I wouldn't pray to them like that per se. How are you ever going to fall in love, Monica? That goes, go ahead and type some more questions too. I don't have a lot of them. That goes right along with the loving yourself, because we're always looking for someone else to fill these holes in us. We want Prince Charming to come rescue us. You know, we want someone to just hand us a better job, whatever it is in our life. We just want it to come along and fill it. For so long, I was using toxins, medications to fill holes in myself. You're going to have to heal yourself and love yourself completely to attract full, complete love. When you're broken and you're trying to attract someone, you're going to get someone broken back. Whatever chakra you're working on, your partner is going to be working on too, and it probably won't be that good if it's like a lower one. So these kind of things are really playing out in our relationships, but the whole point, the whole reason we're here is love. Sounds crazy, right? The whole meaning of life. I could have told you that when I was dying when I was 15. It's love. That is the meaning of life. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. It is love. So if you're looking for love, start to love yourself more. How I met my twin flame was I was finally okay with being by myself. I kind of finally came to the conclusion after this really bad relationship that I was okay alone, probably forever. Like I was okay with it. And I was cool with that, and I started to, you know, and then I made a shift from maybe not even consciously from being, because I wasn't awake yet. I went from service to self to service to others, kind of in a big way, and it kind of, I guess, probably shifted my timeline. We're trying to shift timelines all the time. And your vibration is going to determine what timeline you're able to access. So really work at raising your vibration and loving yourself. Because when I was okay with not needing someone else, that's when I found that ultimate self-love, that real love. And it begins within. Like, you go back to source. I went back to source, and it really manifested in the physical. So the first step is to get spiritual. The second step is to love yourself. Third always is, are you service of self or service of others? Sometimes we think we're service of others. Like, my twin flame's mom will swear up and down. You know, she goes to Catholic church too. She'll swear up and down that she's service of others and she's helping us. Helping me and my twin flame all the time by torturing him and, you know, playing reptile games with him or whatever. So I'm just saying, some people might think they're service to others because they're in their misguided way trying to help others. But are you really helping? Like, are you really service to others, or are you doing it for yourself? Start to really look at your own motives. A lot of people are lucky that they have children, that makes them service of others. But if you're not service of others, if your goals are ego-based and you're trying to like go after those lower needs like material things or money, you're not going to succeed. You're not ever going to be happy. It will just lead you down a really dark rabbit hole. So really look at your motives. Everyone is going to get sorted according to service of self or service of others. And if you want to ascend, you really have to be service of others at some point. Like, you can ascend on the negative path, as in service to self. You can, but it's very hard to go positive, and you have to after a certain point. I'm really good at the shadow side. I was telling my flame this. It's not something that I advertise. You guys see me, and I'm really light usually, and I'm upbeat, and I'm optimistic, and my life's great. I'm dead serious. But I will tell you, in order to get to this point, I had to go through so much darkness, but it was more like I put myself in that darkness out of my own grief, my own despair, out of my own broken blocked heart chakra problems. I threw myself into that darkness really bad. Like, I made it so much worse. And I really had to go through all of that darkness, and I'm really good at like the shadow side. I'm pretty good at negative entity attacks, psychic attacks, whatever. I'm pretty good at it at this point. It's not something I really go into, but you guys all have to conquer your own darkness to find your light. It's just part of the process. So just really like try to love yourself more. It's what it all comes down to. Whatever emotion I'm putting out into the universe, like let's say yesterday, I've really been in a crazy storm with my twin flame, okay? If you be careful what you wish for type deal, and this is what we want to do. This is our path. We're doing it. So sometimes you have to go through great obstacles to be able to get where you want to go, right? So we're really going through crazy obstacles. We have been since we met to be together. Crazy obstacles. So I lashed out anger yesterday, and I will tell you that came back at me. Instant karma. Instant karma just came right back at me. Someone just sent me like some crazy message attack on my video or something. It was just really crazy. It was just crazy how instant it was. Like, you have to understand that we're dealing with instant karma now. So if you're going to put out any kind of like lower emotion that isn't probably good, like anger or whatever, any kind of like anger, I can't think of another one, any kind of lower emotion, it will come right back on you. So if I'm putting out love all the time, I'm always going to have love coming back at me. That's why I really try to stay in a love vibe all the time. Easier said than done, but for the most part I can do it perfect. And then I'm seeing different results in my world. So your emotions are going to determine everything about your day. The answer is loving ourselves. I said, yeah. Let me see, where am I? Good morning, Ben. Well, and whoever says I end in Jesus' name, you shouldn't be praying to Jesus. He was a spiritual guru. He was a teacher. I'm a child of God too. You all are. I think that maybe his parables might have been misunderstood. That's how you get trapped here, is praying to Jesus. So you should probably be praying to God. I know your Bible probably explains it to you guys too. So if you want to follow the Bible, that you're not supposed to be worshiping idols, kind of like the cow in the Ten Commandments story. That's exactly what you're doing when you pray to Jesus. So you can pray to Jesus in that he's an ascended ascended master. I would just be really clear when you do this. He is an ascended master. You can call upon any of the ascended masters. You can pray to Mary Magdalene if you want. She was a healer. You can pray to Joan of Arc. These are real people, but you're not supposed to be praying to him as a god. So I would just kind of be clear about that. I call on Saint Germain all the time for healing purposes. You can pray to Jesus. My twin flame has seen Jesus. I'm not saying that he's not real or anything, but just be careful when you're putting anyone above God. You're supposed to put God first. So it's where it gets tricky. It's so tricky. It's like really they take the real stories and distorted them and made it a trap. So just be really careful. You should be probably praying to the divine in whatever context you want to call it. I don't even really like the word God. But these places, these churches, and these types of fellowships indoctrinate and breed fear. I've never felt at home in any of them. I felt the divine within through personal communication. You can see the divine working through many of us at any given time. The divine has worked through you as well. That's why you want to be an open channel. But if these churches are so amazing, why aren't they taking all that money and helping the world in some way? They're keeping it, and they all have a lot of money, and that's great, but they're not doing anything. So I would look at that like evil. So tricking people for financial means and not doing what they say, it just is kind of an evil concept to me. I get we're all at different levels, but this is enslaving humanity on a deep level, and look how screwed up collectively the world is. It's not just like America, it's not just the US. Collectively, we're not at a good place. We all kind of helped get here by giving away our power blindly, and that's the amazing thing about the Matrix. You can wake up one day and be like, oh my God, wow, everything I knew was a lie, and kind of look around with a different perspective. So I guess it's all about perspective. For those that are going to church, well, if you're going to church, that's exactly where you should be. Maybe you're just at a different place than me, you know? When you are ready to evolve past that, because you will have to. Those are the people that are praying to Jesus. You're karmically tying yourself to Jesus, and he has to deal with that. Until you go raise up out of that, he's tied karmically to you. So that's how it keeps you trapped. So you will evolve past that. It might take some more time. Maybe you won't do it in this life, whatever. But you will evolve past that thinking, and that's the goal. Benjamin, I want to say you've turned into a very awesome person, Robin. I've known you almost 20 years now, and you've come a long way. I'm very proud of you, and awesome to see you're doing great. Yeah, I've had a really long, difficult journey this life. I really did. I've been through a lot, but it really helped me have a certain depth about me and a certain understanding of other people. This is just what I planned before I came here, to help people in some way. I volunteered to come here like all of you guys, and we're just kind of finding our place now. Okay, well, how do we help? Because with all this craziness, this is the environment that we need to blossom into light workers. We need to be in darkness. We need to go through that to really find our light and to be able to help. We wouldn't have anything to help if we were living in Atlantis and it was going great, right? I'm just saying, we wouldn't have anyone to help. So we all came here to learn how to be service of others, in whatever way that entails. That's why people get really mad at me, because I charge for readings, but it's an energy exchange. It's kind of like when you go to work, you have an exchange of energy. If I'm not asking for some kind of energy exchange, people are not respecting my energy, and I'm attracting energetic vampires that will just drain me. So I really do ask for an energy exchange when I do my readings. That can make people upset, but it's just what I've been guided and instructed to do. This is just my path. I want you guys all to find your path and ultimately get out of that 3D paradigm with those jobs you hate and just being on Prison Planet and a slave and having nothing else. I don't care how successful you are at that paradigm, you're always going to be feeling something is missing. Always. If you're not spiritually strong and you don't have that behind you, you're always just going to struggle. I can just do things easily now because I have the universe helping me. When you feel so alone and separate when you choose that other materialistic path. But this really is the time that the Hopi Indians prophesized, where people would have a certain point to turn away from materialism and into spirituality. And after that point, they basically are all going to die at the top of that old drawing on the rock or whatever. Well, we are the rainbow children. This is the time. And it's really, now is the time to go back to those basic things. If you're going to take anything out of the Bible, why don't you guys start following the 10 Commandments? I think it might be the only useful thing. Maybe rip that page out and just throw the whole book away. I mean, sorry, maybe some churches should go back to doing that, right? Rip the 10 Commandment page, throw the rest of the book away because it's so distorted. I would say that those basic, like, 10 Commandments, though, we should probably all be, we all know what's right and wrong. We all have a built-in kind of, like, radar. Like, so even if you've done things that weren't, you know, that great, you knew that you shouldn't be doing them. You did have a conscience. So that's the amazing thing about having a consciousness. We don't need others to guide us. We have this intuition, this kind of internal guidance. And those that are listening to your intuition are going to do amazing. It's those that are running for someone to save them. Oh, Trump, save me. Trump, come save me. Make America great again. I'm so glad on that note that America's being made great again. I can see already how great it is. I can already see watching on these protests and everything. He's making America great, right? So, yeah, maybe Trump will save us. Oh, maybe the aliens will come save us. Newsflash for you, my boyfriend is here. They are here. They have been helping us, but we have to get to a point of evolution where we can handle it. And we can kind of like live as equals and not worship them as gods. So you have so much help. We are that help. Me and you are that help. Like we came here to help. So when people are waiting, oh my God, who's going to save Earth? Who's going to save Earth? That's us. We're the ones saving Earth. So it sounds really crazy. It's been a long time in the making. I'm 35 years old now, and I've only been on my mission like a year. I'm just starting my mission. So I spent 34 years of my life preparing for this. So we've spent so long preparing our whole lives for this. Now is the time we've been preparing for. And we can make huge differences. I think people are starting to realize, I think our government's even starting to realize that we can, oh my God, what happens when the people realize they have the power, right? This whole system comes crashing down when everyone stands up, but it's not going to be standing up in the street like you guys think. It's going to be more like we stop and we get rid of fear completely, and these shapeshifters die. Because from an energetic standpoint, they live on that. That's what they eat. I have a really good connection with Source. I know that one day I won't need food. One day I will transcend the need for food. I know that. I eat a lot differently. You guys will start to eat differently on this ascension path. I know that one day I won't have a need for food like this. So really, it's hard to find words. So a lot of extraterrestrial life, they're more advanced than us. They have no need for food. They live on source energy. That's kind of where I'm headed with this. I'm trying to vibrate so high that I will need I need that when people are, when entities are living on that source energy, and that's what you need to live, you have to have that connection with source. If it gets cut off, you're going to die, right? So there are those entities that they have no connection with source for whatever reason. They've cut themselves off, and they feed on our fear energy, our negative energy. They don't even want the positive energy. They don't want my kind of energy. They want that negative fear, whatever. That's why we're being pumped full of it. If we can get rid of our fear, the world will change. Like literally change in front of you. Like the world that I'm seeing in front of me has changed drastically from a year ago, like drastically. So really just work on raising your vibration and changing your, I love the hearts, and raising your vibration and things will change for you. We get rid of fear and we live in love, and nothing will be able to survive that isn't of a certain amount of light. We live in love. So all the time, I'm sure there's going to be something crazy that happens before Monday too. Something crazy again. Probably I'm waiting for some crazy weather events because of the protests. We did see an earthquake in Japan, and we just had one in New Zealand. But every time everyone gets together and has any kind of turmoil, even the paid Hillary people, they're mostly doing it. But any of that turmoil, the earth will play out, like respond, like Gaia will respond. And it's not a good thing. People live in these places. Like, people are living currently mostly in 3D, right? So when we talk about 3D being destroyed, that's pretty much the world as we know it being destroyed. So I really think people need to come together and live in love, because any time that we're in disharmony with each other, the earth really does respond. So we have to get along with each other. Religions were made to divide. What do you think is dividing people nowadays? Religion and politics, right? I can't think of one other thing. I'm going to try, but I can't think of one other thing besides religion and politics that are really dividing people at this point. And then I also wanted to say, I guess our government, they're always saying I like the word transparency. They're not very transparent in their affairs. As in, they want to regulate our carbon output, right? But they won't regulate nuclear weapon testing that they do all over the world on a massive level. They won't regulate chemtrails and the things going into our food and our water, but they want to regulate things like carbon. I just really think people need to realize these systems aren't serving us, and those religions were brought to earth to divide people. Oh, I'm this religion, I'm better than you, I'm a chosen one, I'm this one. Oh, no, you're not, we're chosen. Like, it just divides people. I'm pretty sure there is only one creator, one God, so it's really crazy to have all these different religions. They've all been distorted. I don't just pick out one religion. They've all been distorted. If you're going to any kind of religious institution, it's not very good. My grandson sees spirits, so it is very important to guide them with love and not let society tell them they're crazy. Yes, I had a lot of my gifts drilled out of me early on, so it's really important that you really just embrace these. It's amazing. Teach him to keep his vibration high so that the entities that are around him or coming through him eventually when he's older are going to be of a high vibration. You don't want any of those lower entities. This can be scary. So that kid should be, he's going to be a medium. Make friends with Sage. Teach him how to make best friends with Sage. And teach him how to keep his vibration high, because it will affect what's coming through. These kids should be learning that if they stay on the spiritual path, because they can start when they're born. Why not? You guys are teachers. I didn't have a teacher like that when growing up. You know, I'm just saying, you guys are teachers though, so you should be teaching these kids to develop their gifts and not hide them. Like, I really dream of a world where these kids are learning how to use their powers. They're not learning stuff that's not true in school. They spend 12 hours a day learning lies. Why not take these kids and teach them to develop their powers or gifts? Because it would really have saved me a long kind of crazy crisscross adventure. It would just really have changed my life drastically. So that's the best thing you can do for these kids, is to teach them that it's not weird. It's amazing to be around spirits. It's actually amazing because, you know, schools will teach them the opposite. They'll probably tell them they're going to go to hell. They're going to go to hell if you're, you know, communicating with anything divine, right? Sounds crazy. And by the way, about hell, so for those of you that are embracing this kind of religious things about hell, hell on earth is very real. There are vortexes that are pretty much hell on earth here. So, and there are lower astral places, like as in me and my twin flame have a lot of experience with those places. So I've been to hell on earth, I've been to hell in the astral worlds, I've been all those places. So there is very real places that might appear like hell that are real in the here and now, but they're not per se a place you're going to go when you die or be judged. My God would never judge anyone, but I've had it shown to me when I might have believed that I judge myself, that we're judging ourselves, that God doesn't have to judge us because we're so horrible and cruel to ourselves. We judge ourselves way worse than anyone else ever would. It's so easy to forgive someone else, but we can't forgive ourselves. So really work on forgiving yourself, because we're way too hard on ourselves. Like, a lot of times when you think things have been going wrong in your life, they're always going exactly as planned. I would say also, the chakra of the day will be your third eye. I'm feeling a lot of blocks in the third eye right now. I'm taking on a couple of blocks, so maybe it's the chakra of the day. I keep on preaching this to everyone, to eat coconut oil, as in like eat like a tablespoon a day raw. Like, just swallow it with water or whatever. Start eating it every day raw. It will do amazing things for your third eye. I take medication in it daily, and I really would attribute it to maybe why my third eye is so amazing and open and working great. I would say it probably had a big effect on it. I heard it takes fluoride out of your third eye and any kind of chemicals that are stored there. So seeing how that's the government's major way to attack our third eye, is to make sure these like aluminum particles are in our brain, whatever. I would really recommend everyone just start eating coconut oil if you can't. It doesn't taste bad. It doesn't taste like anything, honestly. If you can't do that, start throwing it in your food, but I would recommend eating it raw. It will repair your DNA. So we're trying to unlock more and more DNA. It will help with that process, like, immensely. I can't even really recommend anything else. For those of you that are having Ascension symptoms, if you aren't now, you're gonna be at some point. They'll come and go. So just drink a lot of water and put lemon in your water. if you have Ascension symptoms. I pray to God, Jesus, archangels, and ascended masters. Yeah, there's a difference though between I think that and worshiping them. I would just say that. I think it's very fine line, like even to talk about. Most people will probably, if they're smart, wouldn't be going on these tangents like I am in my video, but I'm just past caring. I'm just past caring. I don't care if I offended anyone. This is just my beliefs, but I've had my beliefs validated. Like, these are things that me and my twin flame have seen. I'm the type that would never believe in aliens. I would tell you that we probably were alone. They didn't exist till I saw these things. So this is just my perspective. This is just what I found is real. I think everyone kind of has to go on this journey and find out for themselves. I think you should be questioning everything around you, not just those. Start to question everything around you, because for so long I trusted, especially the healthcare professionals, right? I trusted healthcare professionals. I'm the type that would go to the doctor and they give me a medication and I would take it because of course the doctor loves me and has the best interest in mind, right? Of course the doctor is working for me, has my best interest in mind. Wrong. Nope. They actually are making money for every prescription that you take. So, no, it's actually a big scam. So, I would just really try to question everything, because I have a really good story of this girl, Sammy, who took her kid to the doctor and, oh, I think your kid's autistic. Well, the kid's not, but if you tell a parent that, they're going to manifest it. So, all the doctor has to do is imply your kid is a problem. You go home and think about it and manifest it to happen, and you go back and they make money. So, just be really aware that these people do not have your best interest in mind, and you should probably be researching things furtherly yourself. So I don't even think anyone should take what I say at face value. Go look into it furtherly. Okay, Veda. My boyfriend is on his first year of college. He's super stressed. What crystals can I get him to calm him down? And what can I do to make him less stressed? You can try amethyst. Amethyst is very healing. But you can't do anything to calm him down. He has to do it himself. We're not going to be able to ever influence someone's moods like you think. Like, I know for so long we believe that because of these control drama relationships that, oh, maybe it's my fault they're in a bad mood or whatever. We can't really control other people like we think. All that you can do is really try to work on yourself. And if you're less stressed, maybe he'll feel less stressed. So if you want him to be less stressed, you guys are mirrors. Work on de-stressing yourself. And it will affect his stress level because you guys won't be bouncing off of each other. So I feel like you're stressed too. Just play around with crystals. I wear a quartz around my neck. It's charged up from the moon. Again, last night I put it in the moon. I just wear a plain quartz because if someone wants to like play or hate on me, someone wants to send me some bad vibes, I heard anyway, that quartz will bounce it back to the person. So it's like a protection thing. I try to put it on when I do my video and when I leave the house. So it's a protection mechanism. Try quartz, and amethyst is good for healing. But I would start to take salt baths yourself and just try to like relax and chill out, because if you can calm yourself down, like it will calm him down. So try some chamomile tea. Start drinking chamomile around him. Will you meet your soulmate soon? Yes. I'm going to say again, try to love yourself right now and just be okay without it. Because if you go looking for that soulmate, you'll never find them. You're always going to find a karmic relationship, and those end bad, as you guys all know. So don't ever go looking for it. Go within, meditate, and really start to working on loving yourself. Because when you can love yourself more, you'll attract immediately that complete love. Am I familiar with Helios? I don't know what that is, but I felt like it might have been halos. But no. I'm familiar with halos, like the halo around your head. I didn't know if it was a typo. When you open your crown chakra, you'll have a halo. Like, I'm sure I've tried things like photography. You can actually take pictures of them. Like, you can see people have a halo around their head. That's why they would show the pictures of Jesus with the round circle by his head, because his crown chakra was open. So I've seen some cool things with like photography though, where they like take pictures of halos, but I don't know what the other one is. Yeah, I see this, I agree, we're all one. When I say that all these problems, all the pain and suffering in the world is perceived separateness. anything that is going on in the world is from this perceived separateness, this illusion that we're separate and we are not tied together with anyone. We can do what we want. Remember, we're not connected. I can just tell you to fuck off and never talk to you again. That perceived separateness, that's an illusion. It's not real. So those that are buying into that, I can do this or service of self stuff, it's just fake. It's not good. All that evil is lack of knowledge and an entity that needs to be healed on a deep level. So just know this separateness is very painful and it makes people act differently. That's how everyone descends, that illusion of being so alone. But now you guys know that was a lie and you were never alone. So it seems kind of silly. Robin, I met someone who was really into spiritual stuff like me, but oh man, I knew this was gonna start going bad. Sorry, but then he brought drugs around me. Was this who you were talking about coming into my life? Oh God. Well, I hope you never talk to that person again. I hope you already blocked them. I love hearing these stories because I see a lot of people that say this person was talking spiritual stuff. It doesn't seem like he's living a spiritual lifestyle. I would just be really careful because there's a lot of false prophets around right now. I would just be really careful because it sounds like he's talking spiritual stuff and doing drugs. So his vibration can't be very high and he can't be that spiritual if he's putting those kind of toxins in his life and your life. And knowing that you were just sober and that you're fighting these kind of addictions. Basically, you can call that what you want. I would call it more like a demon. So it's not good. It's just to tempt you. Just stay strong. Cut ties with this person. You don't need these people in your life. And be careful if you think that because a guy claims to be spiritual that he is. I am very connected with someone I do readings for and have helped move past a relationship like this where she went and dated that spiritual guru, married him and was with him 10 years and he destroyed her life. So I would just be really careful about those preaching to be spiritual. I'm still new at this like you guys. I haven't been awake very long. I'm definitely not a guru or a master. I'm just on my own journey and I'm trying to tell you guys a little bit of what I've learned because it would have been helpful for me when I was just first starting out maybe, or if I was on the path. I try to like do something to help. But I'm not in any way trying to be like, oh, I'm so great, I'm so spiritual. Just be really aware of people's actions and their words. Make sure they line up. Because for so long, we just take the ego at face value. Oh, I'm spiritual, I'm great. You want to do some coke with me or heroin with me? That sounds real spiritual, right? I just really think that anyone who is truly spiritual has conquered their own darkness and wouldn't be trying to influence someone in a negative capacity. I'm trying to make the world a better place, not a worse place. I don't know about you guys, but cut ties with this person, block them, and you need to stay really strong because the universe is tempting you. That wasn't a guy coming to you. That was a test. So hopefully you passed it and you're doing great. Because remember, you're on a spiritual path, you're going to be tested. Either way, even if you're not spiritual, this is Earth, we go through tests, like exams. So it was a test. Hopefully you passed it and you're doing amazing and you've put it behind you. If you wouldn't have passed it, that's when you would stay on that lesson, and it's never good. So stay strong. Joanne, can you type a specific question so I know what you want to ask about? It's good to have you. Let's see. God is with us. God is in every one of us all the time. Trust me. Doesn't just like, oh, I'm going to take a coffee break, I'll be back. Like all the time. So it's really a vast concept. That's why I believe that in my journey anyway, that if I want to get close to God, I can be nicer to other people. Because God is in everyone. So I can really love other people and be nicer to them, and it works amazing. Ashley, yeah, the guy you're with is right for you, but you have to remember that we're all exactly where we should be. So, like exactly where we should be, we're dating who we should be, and we're with who we should be. So a lot of times we're feeling like, I don't know if this guy is right for me, maybe I should leave. You wouldn't be with him if you weren't there to learn something. Just use it for a lesson. The goal is to love yourself enough to know if it's a good relationship. For so long I didn't love myself and was in the wrong relationships, and they just all ended kind of bad. So it's important to love yourself enough to know that you're being treated right. You're looking for unconditional love. For so long, we're into those conditional love paradigms. So, eventually, we're all going to move past those control dramas. We need like a spiritual love. We need something that's fulfilling on every level. I had someone message me and said, oh, I'm awake, but my wife isn't. I said, well, she's going to wake up soon. And he said, no, she'll never wake up. Well, a lot of these people are going to wake up. They're going to surprise you. And if they don't, and you're spiritual and your partner isn't, it will fall apart. It will never last. I hate to be the one to tell you guys this. Maybe it'll take you 30 years to figure that out. It might happen more rapidly than for someone else. But if you guys aren't growing and evolving together and on the same path, you guys are not going to be a vibrational match anymore, and you're going to drift apart. It's really hard. You have to really incorporate spirituality into your relationship, and you have to have like the same values with it. If you're spiritual and your partner isn't, it just won't ever last. Those kind of relationships will get tested and texted to the max till they break, just to show you that they won't last. So you really want to save yourself that kind of like pain and aggravation, because the universe is really listening, talking to you guys all loud and clear. You guys have to just tune in and listen a little better. Let me see. I want to see where I am. The Vatican, evil. Evil. What are they doing with your money? Are they helping people? They pay like $6,000 for a commercial and they can't even help homeless people. They're causing those people to be like that too. Oh, Hillary Clinton, help the people in Syria. You guys blew up Syria. Are you kidding me? Now you want money for it? Okay. I'm just saying the world's real fucked. Just be careful putting your faith into anything outside of yourself. Go within, meditate. Go within and meditate. Let me see where I left off. And so it is, as above, so below. That's my favorite saying. I think it's really amazing. I really like the reveal but don't conceal too, because that's kind of what we do. I give you little bits of the truth and then encourage you to go find it on your own. So maybe in a different way, like my twin flame is bound by universal laws and can't talk as much as me. So I try to give you little tidbits and send you on your way. How can you open your third eye? I just said eat coconut oil. It really will help do wonders for your third eye. A lot of you guys are going to feel like a headache here too, because as it expands, it can be kind of painful. So you're going to physically feel it too. I was raised Catholic and went to Catholic school. That's amazing. Everyone kind of begins in that 3D paradigm of religion because it's easy to understand. So many of us began learning in those places. So it's not like, oh my God, oh, horrible. I do feel really glad I was married Catholic the first time, but I feel glad I wasn't able to eat the sacrament of matrimony because I feel like it might have soul contracted me here. And the Catholic Church has it really fucked up because you can't even have a sacred marriage with anyone who's not your twin flame. So, right there, that should tell you something. So I know they say you're going to take the sacrament of marriage and it's going to be this spiritual union, but it's really bullshit. That only works with your twin flame, and you don't go do that in a church. You do that at your house. We're all aliens. Yeah, we are all. I like when my flame, I say all the time, are you going to take me to space? Are you going to take me to live in space? And he says, we are in space. We're all in space. This planet is in space. Are you kidding me? Yeah, where do you think people came from? So, we are all from space. We didn't evolve the way you learned in school from monkeys. We are definitely all from space. We all definitely have alien DNA. We all have reptilian DNA in us, Pleiadian DNA, all different kinds of DNA. Oh, what do you think of drinking water with crystals and healing stones? I think it's amazing. I know that people put quartzes in their water and can heal it. And also, you can just put healing energy into it. I would suggest everyone, if they drink a bottle of water or whatever, to write love with a Sharpie on it. Just write love on your water or your sports drink or whatever. It will change the whole consistency of your water. It will make it from like that really ugly fluoride stuff or whatever's in it, really ugly water crystals to beautiful, like snowflake looking water crystals. Like they've been able to see this under a microscope. So it's definitely proven that you can change the consistency of your water. Try putting love into it. Oh God, Jessica. Brian took off last night. He slept with the babies. Best sleep ever. Don't feel bad. He'll feel hungover and feel like shit because when he's going out drinking and he's disappearing, it's really a negative entity attachment because the booze is lowering his vibration. So he's letting a negative entity take over his body basically. And I bet he feels like shit. And then I don't know why he goes back out and does it again. It's kind of addicting. Like, that's why it's pushed on us. Just really, he would be the most amazing guy ever if he would stop drinking. Like, it would be a totally different ball game. I know Rome wasn't built in a day, but maybe at some point, having children and he should consider stopping drinking for you. Just because it's lowering his vibration so much that I don't think he's in control of his body when he's out drinking like that. Maybe you could bring it up to him in a nice way. Like, I don't think you even really have a good recollection of it. That's why you feel like that when you're drinking. So, sage your house. Sage your house really good. Like, sage. So that when he comes back in, he's not bringing anything negative with him. Sage the house really good. Have an open mind. Normally, I would tell someone to leave that person, but given that you have 2 children, I know one of them with him, 2 children, your situation really good, I would suggest you guys work it out. I do. I think you guys need to work it out. Between the 2 of you, you have a ready-made family all built. You guys have to work it out. But he's going to ultimately have to stop drinking. I know that isn't going to be easy, but try to like help him with that and try to be patient. I know your response is going to be to lash out. Are you kidding me? You walked through the door and you didn't come home last night? I would lash out, right? That's my normal, that would be the first response of anyone. Try not to do that. Try to stay in love. I'm taking on all your anxiety from it, so I feel it. But just try to stay in love and be patient with his situation. Because as you know, you had your vices too. So none of us are really perfect. Just try to stick it out. Try to work with it. But yeah, you slept amazing. He didn't get any sleep and he's going to feel like shit today. Maybe he has to work too. Let me see. Meditation class is the best. I think that's good for everyone. I did like yoga and stuff and it was really good. You never felt right in your religion. I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. But once I got old enough to have your own say, you stopped going. Yeah, when kids are born, we really get indoctrinated into whatever religion our parents are. So we really do go through that. I just think that the truth is not able to be contained in one religion. I take a lot of my truths from like, I guess, Christianity, maybe Buddhism, Hindu religion, whatever. I take a lot of concepts from ancient Egypt, Lemuria, maybe some from Atlantis, some from off-world. So it's really a mix, like all my beliefs of religions. But while I was like studying just the religions, I couldn't find any of the truth there. It's just a really big universe we live in. So just try to like open your minds to maybe these religions maybe they did start out trying to be good, but you can't really put your views like, okay, so you go ahead and you follow these religions to a T, but are you finding God? God is in love. It's kind of like a frequency you can tune into, I believe, and it's love. So why do you need all these books to say one word, love? Why do you really need all these books? Think about it. Like, God's pretty simple. It's love. So just really, you can simplify things. Just be careful what you're putting your energy into. You did 2 chemos and then stopped. Yeah, so it destroys your body. This is years later. I had chemo when I was 15 years old, but I also went through a really bad accident and I was on really heavy duty medications. And every day I'm still healing my body from this kind of stuff I've been through. So I know it just has horrible effects on your body. Our body's a lot more simple. Like, it works with chakras, and when one of them gets blocked or out of balance, we get sick. So now you're seeing sickness everywhere. It's kind of being like fed into us from childhood. Looking into vitamin B. Yes. Looking for possible answers to cures for cancer. The cure for cancer would be Dr. Brzezinski has a neoplasmin study, and he was shut down many times by the government, as in he has FDA trials, I believe, in Texas, and they kept on like shutting him down. But I know he sells that kind of medication online. Cancer would be caused by repressed anger or repressed emotions, and at the point when you actually get cancer, it's probably not going to be, it would be beneficial for you to get us to open your chakras, like a chakra opening service, but that's not going to magically balance your body back to normal at that point, because it's gotten so out of control. So anyone who is getting any kind of like chemo or something, I would recommend energy healing on the side. You can PM me if you want, but it's going to be a little bit harder to regulate your body when it gets to that point. That's why I'm trying to help you guys stay regulated now, so that you guys don't have these problems. Basically work on letting go of anything that isn't serving you. When you hold on to these emotions or anything from the past, it will manifest into illness. I live in your light body. That's the best advice I could tell anyone. I deal with really bad chronic pain from shattering my pelvis in a car accident. So the best advice my flame could give me is, well, live in your light body and you won't feel pain. Says live in your light body and you won't feel pain. You won't feel the same pain, and that's really true. That when you live in your light body, you're just going to feel like less pain. It's not as the same. When you're just in that physical body and you're not spiritually strong, you're going to feel every little ache and pain. So you're going to feel things differently. 4 years, you're still here. Well, that's amazing. You're going to beat this, and you're going to learn how to heal your own body. That's how my healing journey began. Medical marijuana needs to get legal. Yeah, it really does. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. We probably have a better chance of something else unfolding before that. It's really ridiculous. But I think people are really starting to notice that even like the CBD has amazing benefits. There's amazing benefits to this plant. It really could cure cancer, and it could cure everything on the planet. So it's really crazy that things like morphine and fentanyl are illegal, and marijuana is, in my state, the same schedule as those kind of drugs, as heroin, whatever. It's really kind of extreme and crazy. Third, fourth, and fifth dimensions are all right here, right now. Same place and same time, yes. I always say maybe probably flipping between 4 and 5, a little bit lower to broadcast to you guys. I'll go back to 5 when I get off of here, but my neighbors right here, they're definitely 3. I'm convinced their house might fly away one day. So really, it's like an onion. These dimensions are in the same place. It's kind of like channel surfing on a television, and you really just want to tune into these higher dimensions. Good morning. What do I feel about the Illuminati? Okay, well, I see there's like a group of it really enlightened people, and they really spread around these Illuminati and reptiles and everything, and they just kind of got stuck in that phase. Well, that was a phase I went through awakening, and so I really think you can really tell by the message. I won't get hung up on it. I wouldn't get hung up on it at all. They are these power systems in play that are keeping us prisoner. But I wouldn't get like hung up on it like everyone else. That's just another way to spread fear. That is the Illuminati, spreading fear, talking about the Illuminati. So I would just really, just focus on love and not worry about these things. I'm not afraid of the Illuminati. Clearly they don't care about me. So I don't think anyone else should be. I mean, I really don't. It's not like it's affecting you in your life on an individual basis. It might be affecting what you're seeing on television and like on a site more like a collective level, but I wouldn't be afraid of it. There are people taking care of that, and anything not of light is not going to survive. So what do you have to be afraid of? Fear will trap you here. You don't have to be afraid of the Illuminati. So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend watching music videos. I know I hear a lot of like, oh, there's mind control. Yeah, there's aura infringements going on everywhere, but if you're spiritually strong, that kind of stuff won't faze you. Like, I don't. Who is good to pray for? Just God. Just God. God, the creator. Gratitude leads to abundance. Yes. When people are like, oh, I'm broke, oh, I don't have any money, you're creating that. You're keeping yourself stuck there. If you know that we live in abundance and all my needs are taken care of, then you'll start to attract that into your life. So you really want to just be thinking abundance, staying positive, and that's what you'll attract. So that's like so true and amazing. Is Justin Bieber really a female? I don't know. Come on, he has that Love Yourself song. That's what you guys should be listening to. Girl, love yourself. I don't know. Don't you love these singers singing about supposed positive things with a negative overtone, right? I don't know. I don't think I will want, if I had kids, my kid listening to him. I don't know, but he has that Love Yourself song. That's what I'm kind of trying to teach you. So if you are a Justin Bieber fan, go listen to that Love Yourself song. That's what we're kind of like working on. I don't think he's very tuned in. I think a lot of these entertainers, they are where they are because they have not good soul contracts, so they get whatever they want. They're rich, they're famous, but they have a soul contract that in the end they're not going to be very happy paying off. So I wouldn't really let it phase you. Have compassion for those people because they picked the wrong team and ultimately they'll pay for it in a way that's like not good. Fear's the opposite of love. Yeah, just have compassion. That is funny, but just have compassion. You have degenerative bone disease. I'm healing yourself. Yeah, you're a healer. You're getting amazing at it. And that's how we learn, by healing our own bodies. I would look into CBD. It's pretty much like a cure-all drug. Speaking of it, it's made from the hemp plant, so it doesn't get you high. This whole house is on it now, and it's really had amazing effects. I'm gonna let you go on that note, but I am here if you guys want to do like a healing or reading or whatever, and just have a really high vibe day. You only have one more day and you're gonna have a little of a break, so have a high vibe day. Stay spreading love, get rid of that fear. The Illuminati's not coming to get you. They don't care about us, clearly. I will be more concerned about you know, things that are very real and prevalent. You probably don't want to be watching Justin Bieber, Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus, really aligning with any of those. Go check out, like, I can't even say his name, Naku Bear and Medicine for the People, or some kind of like 5-day music, maybe like B.O.B. or whatever. Go check out some metaphysical raps, because I believe that people aren't going to like the same music anymore. So you're going to be just noticing crazy shifts and everything. Have a good day and help raise consciousness.